With me is the Secretary General of the European External Action Service. So, welcome to Beyond. It's great to meet you here in Delhi. My first question to you is, what's your key focus during your Delhi visit?
Well, essentially, I'm trying to, together with the Indian authorities, to see how we can broaden and we can deepen the cooperation between India and European Union. We have already a very solid basis. We are working together on a number of areas from trade. There is a negotiation going on for a free trade agreement. And in the economic area, there's a very substantial exchange and investments between India and European Union. We want to see if there are other areas where we can work more together. Security has become of particular relevance, freedom of navigation, the maritime sector. These are all potential areas of cooperation where we would like to do more. And I think that we have common interest to work more in a world that has become more fractured, more polarized, more insecure, and where we need to join forces to face the challenges that we are facing.
So, you mentioned about the FTA. If you can give us a status, how hopeful you are. We have been talking about it for a long time.
Well, there is a team of the trade negotiations, the negotiators here in town in these days. We are now at the 7th round of the free trade agreement for the negotiation of this free trade agreement. And we are all very much willing to move ahead with this negotiation. There is a strong political will on both sides, but I think also a very strong political interest. Trade negotiations are very delicate. You have to find the right balance between the different interests, between defensive and offensive interests. And we have to give the time to our negotiators to find a result, an outcome that can then be ratified by our parliaments.
So you're here at a time when there are other European foreign ministers, but also the 2-year anniversary of the situation in Ukraine is also there. It's going to be marked tomorrow. So essentially, when it comes to that issue, what kind of conversation you had with your Indian counterpart?
Well, we have been discussing this for now for 2 years, and what we are stressing always is the fact that for the European Union, for Europe, the Russian aggression against Ukraine is an existential threat. It's a threat against a country with which we will start soon negotiation for accession. So that should be a part of the family very soon. But it is also a threat to us, to the European Union itself, because the imperialist attitude of Russia is something that is worrying us. They are trying to recreate a sort of post-Soviet space, resurging, making reappear the idea of the sphere of influence, which we thought were already over since many years. And for us, this is something that is affecting our own security. So we need to convey this message. We need to make sure that that we are aware of the consequences that it is creating for the countries around the world, and that we are trying to diminish this impact. But that for us, this is a key element that won't go away.
What do you have to say about China? That's a worry for India. I mean, if there are worries for Europe, there are worries for Asia as well, especially India.
Well, China is a very complex and large partner. I mean, we have established already a few years ago a strategy of, let's say, to manage our relation with China. I'm speaking for the European Union, where we define China at the same time as a partner, and it is, I mean, from many points of view, we are trying to work together on global issues, like, for example, climate change. It is a competitor because economically they are competing, and we want to be sure that this is done on the basis of a level playing field, so that they are not, let's say, abusing their capacity to intervene in politically into the market to distort to the rules of the game. But we are also saying that there is a systemic rival, in the sense that they are a bearer and they are carrying a message and an idea of the world governance that we do not share, and we think that we need to keep on telling very clearly which are our positions. But it is also true, and it's part of our strategy, that we want to engage with them. Engagement is an important component, but we want also to de-risk, to reduce the risk of the exposure of our economy, to risk the dependencies that we have. And for this, we are trying also to develop active policies in this respect.
So my final question to you before I leave, democracies working together, India and Europe, how do you see the convergences at a time when we are facing a lot of crisis from West Asia to the Red Sea?
Goes back to what I was saying at the very beginning of our conversation. We believe that we can and we have to work together with India. We share an interest of having a world, not only a region like the Indo-Pacific, but a world which is open, free, where people and goods can flow without restrictions, and that can bring positive fruits and a positive outcome for our countries, for the good of our countries, for the security, for the wealth of our people. And so we have an interest to work together. One, I think, of the things that we have tried to do in the last few weeks is start the implementation of the IMEC, this India, Middle East, Europe corridor, which is a very important project because it's a strategic project that is linking our continents in a project that should be, again, open, sustainable, and centered on the interest of the people.
Mm-hmm. Well, on that note, thank you so much, sir, for speaking to WION.
Thank you.
With video journalist Sanjeet Siddhansibal for WION in New Delhi.